Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next match of the Zelda 1 Randomizer 2025 Winter Tournament. Tonight we have a matchup between OzzSolo and cantaloupeme. I am also here in the booth, and I will be joined by Niori in hopefully a minute or two. In any case, so this is in the 3 and 2 group. So both of these runners have qualified for the brackets. As the upper bracket, you are guaranteed to qualify if you have 3 wins. So this is for a little bit of seeding. But still, we're going to get a fantastic runner between these two. cantaloupeme has been around for a long time, very familiar with Z1R and Zelda 1 Vanilla, and a fantastic vanilla runner. OzzSolo, this is the first tournament that I've seen them in, but they have made quite a showing in this tournament.
OzzSolo actually started around the same time I did. Also, hello, and I'm sorry for being a little late.
Well, I can tell you missed exactly none of the action, so you're good.
Awesome.
These two are going to be off and going here in just a couple of seconds. So I think our start screen is going to be in the Deadwoods.
I'm going to guess the push block tile just below the ferry.
Oh, is that the... I'm going to assume the Desert Ferry, because I'm pretty sure that's the only one with a push block.
Yeah.
Then while we're waiting, where would you like to... Well, here we go. It's level 8 is the start spot.
But yeah, Ozzy and I actually met.
Well,
oh,
that's a tough screen.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But with like that as your starting screen, this overworld is going to be a little bit tricky to get around, and generally speaking, because of cantaloupeme's extensive experience with vanilla and extensive combat, any seed that leans more combat heavy is generally, as we see a power bracelet on the coast, generally I think going to favor cantaloupeme a little bit more in any given matchup.
Right.
cantaloupeme does have some of the best combat out there.
Yeah, Ozzy and I first met when Yumi actually raided me when I was doing my very first rando seed, and that seed was atrocious. Like, it was an abomination. And it looks like we have the banana for the Armos item.
And being poked at for being wrong on the x-axis of where they started. As I take a sip of my drink. With bananas found, it looks like both runners are playing on hardware. They might have slightly different capture setups, though.
I know Ozzy's playing on hardware. cantaloupeme, I'm not 100% sure.
cantaloupeme definitely is. And that's one thing you do see with a lot of people that have been around for a while is they like to run on hardware, especially if they're vanilla runners, because running on hardware, especially if you've got an old-style CRT, you get no input lag whatsoever.
Right. Man, I remember playing this game on an old CRT.
As do I. cantaloupeme elected not to pick up the boomerang. Now, there are reasons to pick it up and reasons not to pick it up. Picking it up, you get the benefit of you can pick up enemy drops from afar, and you can hook down enemies with it. However, it is an extra item you have to scroll through when you're doing your select swap.
OzzSolo with the letter.
So the letter will allow you to buy potions. Of course, you have to be able to afford them.
Sure. Right now, both runners are sitting at 21 rupees.
Seeing some any roads on OzzSolo's side as cantaloupeme is trying to get the enemies to cooperate. But they just aren't. Oh, and cantaloupeme gets hit by the pea hat. Well, that's a little unfortunate for OzzSolo. Ended up missing the first bomb kill because the red Octorok died to the boomerang. But that doesn't matter because we got a sword.
It is nice to see the Octoroks we've got so far gone down to a single boomerang strike, though.
That will make farming them a little bit easier. So Cantaloupeme is now going to head back towards the northeast. And finds level 7. Cantaloupeme is going to say no. We'll see if OzzSolo says yes. OzzSolo says, let me poke around a little bit, see if I can get something for free. Yeah, okay. Well, I think OzzSolo's going to leave.
Yeah, if I know Ozzy, and I've done quite a few runs with him, he's gonna mainly aim for those lower dungeons and see what the combat's like in there before going to dig something like the 7.
OzzSolo does get bombs. Cantaloupeme gets the anti-roads, and yeah, honestly, when you walk into 7 and the first thing you're greeted with is the blue wizard welcoming party, it makes sense to not want to dig it. Cantaloupeme's about to get his sword. Being careful to avoid too much damage here. And swords for both runners in under 5 minutes. We like that.
Now, if it was me, it'd probably be about 30 minutes before I found it. But that's just my luck. You know?
Yeah. Hey, the meat's cheap.
What was that, 41?
41. So, what kind of meat do you think that is, then, if it's that cheap?
Probably like
eggs. Take it?
Probably like a school grade hamburger meat.
Mystery meat. I love mystery meat. Well, I liked it as a kid. I haven't eaten it since. You know, there was this one time where I think it was when beef prices were particularly high. I'm like, how is there ground beef available for $3 per pound? And then you realize it's like 75% filler. Don't eat the filler meat, kids. Cantaloupeme is going to like to go to the fairy fountain near the push block.
And in this overworld, I do not blame him one bit.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough overworld. Cantaloupeme has not gotten bombs yet, though. Let's see, level 6 in the pink. Does Cantaloupeme like to poke his head in a little bit?
Ozzy saw his coast item and an up aid to safely get out of there.
So, you have a choice of killing Like-Likes or a Patra.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with Cantaloupe with that. I'd rather take the Like-Likes over the Patra.
Yeah, it looks like the Like-Likes rolled down. Nope, they're vanilla. Cantaloupeme is just that quick at killing them that it makes it look like that he made it look like they rolled down.
Now, if I had Mags and Red Ring, then I might consider going after the Patra.
Yeah, but it looks like Cantaloupeme is going to take the 1 key out of 6 and bounce. Honestly, I like it. As much as I like to dig the large dungeons, I recognize that it's generally a bad idea, especially digging them early.
I'll be checking 1Q1, finding the blue ring and blue candle.
So, not able to afford either, although the blue candle is probably the preferred item of the two. There's the magical sword. I would bet we're probably not going to see that just because of the fact that with the inter-dungeon shuffle, but no actual heart shuffle, once you get your item out of a dungeon, you're probably looking to bounce, and that's... Alright, well, there's the expensive arrows.
And Ozzy taking a free trip back to start.
We're also hearing from chat that it is 40 rupee bombs. What? I'm the light. No, the candle is 42, but the bombs are 40. Oh, this is going to be a seed, isn't it? Well, Candlelume's now got candle money.
Yeah. And he's thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, you definitely buy the candle here, because bombs are a renewable resource, candles are not. For what it's worth, that is a 10 rupees per bomb. Solo finds level 6, is immediately going to see Patra, and is gonna take a stab at it. Literally.
Literally.
Multiple even. Not hide in the doors with patches. And also, by the way, if you fight them from the right, you can glitch them out to where they orbitals just completely break everything, including physics. I hope we... Oh, there they go! There they go!
Wow, that's the first time I've seen that.
Patra is now breaking physics. I know, by the way, like, how do you... The way that you deal with this sometimes is you just don't. Like, look at that. Look at what the orbitals are. They're just gone.
Wow.
And you can't hurt the main Patra until you kill the orbitals, which are currently in the HUD. You have to wait for them to come out of the HUD.
At this point, well,
honestly,
that's one way to do it.
That probably saves OzzSolo time.
I was about to say, at this point, I'd just leave the room and come back in if I was determined to fight that thing.
Or you just don't fight it and you say, I'm gonna go literally anywhere else. And that's what OzzSolo's gonna do, is go literally anywhere else.
Well, like I said, if I was determined to fight it.
Keys are 2 HP. No, that is not dividing by 0. That is just... That is just trying to do orbital projection with a J6. And look, there's a free heart. Well, free-ish.
Well, it's kind of free once you squeeze past that Patra and kill those keys, and then open the stairs. And...
Alright. The keys are basically free. They're just 2 HP.
How's he saying? Nope. Still not fighting you.
Wait, why am I talking about myself in the third person? So, with the free heart out of... Well, free in air quotes. We find level 9 on Cantaloupeme's side. You enter in the bottom left corner. How many Triforces do we need? It is 5!
5!
So, Cantaloupe probably is never going to see 6, 7, or 8 unless the bow's there. Not saying it's impossible, though. Because bear in mind, one of the smaller levels may well be blocked by an item that's in 6, 7, or 8. However, if given the choice, I would expect Cantaloupe would say, I'll just do 1 through 5. And as Chad is pointing out, 5 is good for OzzSolo because if you only have 5, that means you can be a lot more selective about where you do your combat, which means you might be able to avoid some of those hard combat rooms. So at 13 minutes in, we've seen a decent amount of information. We've seen a single patch of break. Looks like we've switched to audio. So, I think both runners would like to see bombs. That's why you see OzzSolo killing these Dark Nuts. Cantaloupeme, not gonna find
nothing.
much. Hey, there we go.
But he finds level 1.
Level 1 is one of those levels that you're always happy to see. However, you might not necessarily be happy to see it first. Level 3 is a fantastic first level to dig. So,
and map for Ozzy.
What you notice over there on level 1 is it's very linear, and level 1 likes to have a lot of key doors. It has 6 locked doors in vanilla. So that's why level 1 sometimes isn't the best level to find early.
And it appears that we are bomb blocked, but what was that, the flute?
I didn't see it.
That was the tutor.
Flute in level 1, okay. So that's our first item out of 1. And OzzSolo's gonna look to go back in with a bomb pack off of the Dark Nuts. Potential item room here in 3 for Cantaloupeme. Oh, and the Zal's died to a wood sword. That's fantastic. See, heart container in the stair in level 3, so Cantaloupeme will be looking for a floor item. There is one Coast Heart that is available in the item pool. However, one thing that you have to always keep in mind is that anytime you find a heart in a dungeon, you kind of have to assume that that's the dungeon heart, not the Coast Heart.
Until you find the second one.
Nope, it's on the floor in 3. That... I feel like that is also good for OzzSolo. And the reason I think that's good for Oz is... if 9 is a particularly tough enemy set, you end up having to dig less of 9.
Exactly. He's going to be happy to see it once he finally makes it into level 3.
Yep, and level 3 was just under a burn spot, so with Oz having the candle money, Cantaloupeme takes a death to a Gleeok. Honestly, Gleeoks are just jerks. As much as I enjoy fighting them, they're just jerks. No, you know what it is? Gleeoks think they're XZ's monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh! And they just detach a head every time they take enough damage. For everyone who knows what that is, congratulations!
I used to have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck based around nothing but dragons, and I ran... what was it? Max of 3 FGDs.
You know, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in, like, the Duelist Kingdom Battle City era, but my deck that I had was just kind of meh. Can you pot of greed 10 times in Exodia and just call it a day? Yeah, hold on. Let me pull out my Graceful Charity real quick.
I still prefer Magic the Gathering now.
As do I. I've actually like made a deck in Magic the Gathering that isn't objectively terrible.
Now, what format do you play in Magic?
This was standard on Arena back in like 2018 is when I made this deck. It was a blue-black Mill Thief of Sanity deck.
Yeah, I have a Commander deck that got crippled here last year when they banned Mana Crypt.
Ooh.
Yeah. I have an original print media promo Mana Crypt in that deck.
Wow.
Like, I have a proxy of it in the deck, and I have the actual card in a binder, in a sleeve, in the binder sleeve.
So here is the question. If you were to put Link as a Magic the Gathering card, what colors and what mana cost would you go with?
2 and a green.
Okay.
Because he's an elf, essentially.
He does not get Vigilance, because he has to put a shield away to attack. I'd give him First Strike.
First Strike and Haste.
But he's a 2/2.
Yes.
Actually, that seems reasonably well balanced.
We didn't say. And bow white sword item.
And red ring on the floor and 1. Okay, well, now this just got more interesting. So, handle me with the bow.
That white sword item was in the forgotten spot too.
Yeah.
Okay. That could be kind of bad for Ozzy because he tends to, forget the forgotten spot.
Yes, but on the other hand, having the red ring is going to really help to equalize the combat differential.
Oh, absolutely. He and I are both ones that are that seem to do a lot better once we get the defensive upgrade, whether it's the red ring or blue ring. But he's probably smiling to himself from ear to ear right now after finding that red ring on the floor in 1.
Yeah.
And only 20 minutes in at that.
I used to be an anti-blue ring purchase person just because I felt like the money was often better spent on other stuff. And then I reached the point of saying, you know what? Just buy, if a blue ring makes the seed faster for you than saving the money for something else, then buy the blue ring.
The way I look at it is you have to play to your own strength. And if that strength is a blue ring, buy the blue ring. If that strength is a shield, we have a ladder on the floor in 5.
That's a good find.
But if Go ahead.
Alright, so you know about the rule of 5?
Yes.
It's broken! The rule of 5 was broken in this scene! Why is that there? That's supposed to be a transport. So, this is why I say the rule of 5 is an unofficial rule. Because the way it works is that, more often than not, the first staircase you see in level 5 is going to be a transport. However, sometimes the game likes to do this and throw an item at you early.
OzzSolo with his blue candle.
Oz having a blue candle will be able to find level 3 and those silvers, but does not have the bow yet. Cantaloupeme does get some bombs. Cantaloupeme clearing this room looking for another key. And gets one. We are not going to see Cantaloupeme elect to take this for the bomb upgrade. Generally, the bomb upgrades are great if you run into them on the way or if they're close to the entrance, but if they're deep in a dungeon, they just don't have the same value.
As of right now, I don't believe Cantaloupeme's found level 9.
Cantaloupeme did. Oz has not found level 9.
Okay, yep. I had that backwards then.
Yep, Cantaloupe is the one who knows that it's 5 Triforce skin denied, and honestly, at this point with knowledge of 6 and 7, if Cantaloupeme is willing to go back into 3, it's effectively go mode. But I think Cantaloupeme is going to like to look for some other levels. Potentially look for combat upgrades, would like to find level 1. Now, you might have noticed that all the old men are saying the exact same thing. Well, that's because the flag, Book to Understand Old Men is on. because the flag book to understand Old Men is on, well, you need the book in order to get the hints. But the hints are helpful once you get there. However, Cantaloupe is probably not going to be buying very many hints in this scene. And this play looks like Cantaloupe is looking for other levels to dig. Might want to see 1 or 8. Ugh. 72 for the large, as we find on Oz's side. There it is. I didn't see exactly where Oz placed the bomb.
No, he hit it. He hit it.
Okay, he must have placed it between the 2 tiles then.
It just didn't open for him.
That spot is cursed if it opens anyway. Like anytime you have a scene where that spot opens, it's bad. Oz is gonna find not a level.
Potion shop.
And that's a really cheap hint shop. So if you were on Team Oz, you kind of want this recorder to be required to find a level that has a combat upgrade in it. Because Cantaloupe is about to find level 1. Oz also needs to find level 9 and level 3.
And level 5. Or has he already found? No, he hadn't already found 5.
So at this stage, Cantaloupe is, in terms of item knowledge, a good bit ahead, even though the Triforces are even for the moment. And a knowledge advantage from having found 9, so... It's rare that we see this kind of divergence early, where Run Runner just has a whole bunch of extra stuff. But Cantaloupe has done a really good job of routing this, and has been good about being selective with the digs. However, OzzSolo has now found level 5. So this is good. This is the kind of dungeon that OzzSolo needs to find. Is one that's got a ladder on the floor, you can just pick it up and say, "Yay!" And then go about your business.
And Ozzy picks up his map.
We like the map.
The map is very mappy.
The map. Okay, should find nothing here. You know, I feel like that should be a deceptive hint. Like, anytime you have deceptive hints on, there's just one hint that says, like, Bull's voice guard the nothing, or there's a ladder for Oz, or Wallmasters guard the nothing. One of those kind of hints. Which only tells you that there's a single Wallmaster room in the dungeon that has nothing. It'd be fantastic. So Cantaloupe is going to have a little bit faster of a 1 and 5 from the Bow Silvers combo. And honestly, this Red Ring is doing a lot to gap this heart differential, which the heart differential might actually become a problem, depending on when OzzSolo finds the bow. Cantaloupe bomb blocked at a level 1 is probably going to go ahead and clear out these Dark Nuts.
OzzSolo finds the bomb upgrade, 5 short.
Yeah, you might come back for that if you get the money.
Maybe. I don't normally know how Ozzy does with the bomb upgrades. I don't know how often he goes for them.
There's a bomb pack for Cantaloupe. OzzSolo stuck in a room with a Gleeok, gonna have to use the key, only to get a mugger.
And he up and A's.
Well, that is the third option, to leave the mugger room.
Right. Or he could have tried bombing right.
There was a shutter door.
Oh, was there?
Yep. Cantaloupe is now going to bomb north in this room in level 1. This, I believe, had the heart container. But you cleared this, what's it called? You cleared the Aquamentus. It's a relatively easy boss, and it does not have the heart. I don't remember where the heart was in 1. If we even saw it, we might not have seen it. Here's a red ring for Cantaloupe. There's a bunch of gels. So here's the thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
At least the gels didn't roll up.
And here's the interesting thing for Cantaloupeme. I don't know if Cantaloupeme is the type... I haven't seen Cantaloupeme enough recently to know if he generally will go for a magical sword, or if he is perfectly fine with just wood sword, given that he's got red ring. You don't go dig level 1 for the heart container at this point, but I would not be shocked to see Cantaloupeme pick up a potion out of the next take inning. Cantaloupeme's got 2 Triforces and is now going to go into level 6.
OzzSolo about to pick up his second Triforce.
You know what? I'm going to say it. I don't dislike this play into 6, given that you're right here, it's nearby, and you know you've got everything you need to be cannon. Cantaloupe could very well just be saying, you know what, get me my Triforces, give me the 9. So, knowing that Cantaloupe is an incredibly strong vanilla runner, Wood Sword is more than enough. I just didn't know his preference when it came to randos, because randos, you do have to come in with a little bit of a different mindset. But if he's saying, you know what, I've ran enough vanilla, I'm perfectly good to just do this on Wood Sword, then yeah, he's just going to do it on Wood Sword. We should not see the Patra break physics here. OzzSolo is going to pick up the Power Bracelet. We have not seen a dungeon under it, and we may never know if it's actually required. Heard in the Paul's voice. But I still want to know who this guy Paul is and why his voice is a bunny. This is a room that exists. Thankfully, the Pulse Boys seem to be the primary spawn. And level 6 is a shape with a little lonely room. Sadly, that room needs a friend.
Maybe it's an outcast like me.
Well, but what happens when 2 outcasts get together?
Good question.
Do they create the song of the 2000s? Also, according to chat, today is Frog Day. I did not know it was Frog Day. Level 8 now by Oz.
Level 8.
And yeah, this is where you're going to see Cantaloupe just be like, you know what, I'm just going to fight these guys. I can do it. See? And you get a fiver. White Sword item was at the Forgotten spot, but the White Sword itself has not been found. And Cantaloupe is going to go ahead and just fight off some of these Wizrobes. Really just looking for a Triforce in here. Cantaloupe wouldn't say no to the floor item, but not his primary goal coming into this level. Although, in Cantaloupe's position, I think the best floor item to get would actually probably be the ending key.
I don't know about the best floor item. The reason I say that is I've seen in this tournament where having the any key kind of screwed someone over in 9.
True, it does change your routing, so yeah, that is something to take into account, as opposed to just a key there. Like, Cantaloupe is gonna elect not to spend the key. Seems like the Wizards rolled up today. Not these, the other ones. Hi, Death Molas. Or as they're sometimes called, Danger Noodles. What? They got a Triforce, so they're worth killing. What about Cantaloupe up to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I've even heard them called Super Noodles.
So Cantaloupe is done in level 6. I wonder if Cantaloupe is going to head to level 3 here, then go to level 7, do that, and then just go to 9. Saying, you know what? I'm just going to go to 9 with what I got. There's no other items that are going to block me from beating the seed. I'm just going to do it.
At this point, that's probably what I'd do, unless I came across something that blocked me in the dungeons, which at this point, Cantaloupe has pretty much everything that could block them. And I just do what I know and go from there.
Yeah. Now, OzzSolo is in 3, so is going to get the silvers out of here. It is 5 Triforces to enter level 9. Cantaloupe has seen it. OzzSolo has not. And that's why I think we're seeing Cantaloupe just go to the levels that he knows exist. Because there's no reason to go try to find 4, 2, or 8 if you can just go to the levels you know where they are. No map for either runner, but Cantaloupe does now have the compass. This will be the heart container here for Oz. I need to apologize as I do not remember where 9 was. I forgot to make a note of it. I may have been distracted at the time by people trying to get me to buy hot sauce.
Hot sauce is good.
The Forgotten Spot had the bow, which is the white sword item.
And Ozzy with his silver era.
Good find. Cantaloupe going to go down to 1 key, but is going to be able to complete this. Triforce out of level 3 for Cantaloupe. OzzSolo is going to elect to kill the Gleeok and is going to be rewarded with... It's going to be rewarded with...
A fairy!
Yeah, good enough. That might have been a key.
Hey, speaking of which...
Cantaloupe not checking these recorder spots is saying, I'm just going to the level that I know where it is. Now, bear in mind, Cantaloupe does a lot of tracking mentally, so it may be one of those cases of just, you know where it is, you go to where you know, instead of trying to hopefully find a shortcut and then end up distracting yourself. And honestly, sometimes that's true in 9 too. Oh, I am being corrected. He does have an offline tracker. Cantaloupeme is going to come up to the key shop and buy some keys. I like this play a lot. Going to the key shop, buying a tree, buying a key before going into level 7. And that might have been a motivator to say, I'm just going to go to 7, is I want to hold on to this money so that I can buy some keys before going forward. And welcome to why level 7 is level 7. So that you can bomb through the wizards, which means you don't actually have to fight them. Cantaloupeme is going to like not to clear the pure darkness room yet. Wants to make sure he's got time to get his bow out. Try to force in level 3 for OzzSolo. So now Cantaloupeme is going to take the transport stair because fighting wizards takes a long time and you don't want to do it. Now this room will stay dead because the traps are technically the primary enemy.
The best thing Ozzy can do right now is go check the Forgotten Spot. He'll be really happy once he does.
Because then all Ozzy needs to do is just kill a couple more dungeons, get some more Triforces, and go to 9.
Well, he needs to find 9.
Minor details. Minor details. Cantaloupeme's going to leave level 7, saying, you know what, this ain't worth it.
Might be a minor detail, but important detail nonetheless.
Cantaloupeme has said enough is enough with 7. Let's see where Cantaloupeme heads to. Looks like Death Mountain.
And Ozzy's up on Death Mountain East.
We got East versus West Death Mountain. Ozzy does miss the bomb spot, but gets it on the second try. And inside the cave, candle shot.
Well, at this point, it'd be more of a bomb shot. And level 2 for Cantaloupeme.
That's a really big find. This is probably exactly what Cantaloupeme wanted to see, because you might be able to pick up an item on the way. It's ladder blocked. Thankfully, you had the ladder out of 5. It is a person doing a little dance. With no arms.
Kind of reminds me of one of the turrets from Half-Life 2.
Yeah. Spoiler warning, I've never played Half-Life 2. But you can spoil it.
Well, it's not really that big of a spoiler. I mean,
spoiler warning, I've also never played Portal, but I've seen enough playthroughs of it to know the spoilers. There's a raft that we don't need. Cantaloupeme wants to get more keys on the way.
I actually speedrun Portal 2. Awesome game.
I just like that Portal 2 knows what terminal velocity is. And also, there's a thing that I could definitely spoil about Portal 2. But given the game's old enough, enough people probably know this. So, when you shoot the moon, they actually calculated the amount of time it would take for the light to reach the moon and come back. And that is accurate. In-game.
And we have Triforce out of 2 for Cantaloupeme.
Yep.
So he is now ready for level 9.
Yes. Just has to get back there. And OzzSolo's on the screen with level 2. So it's not really that far behind. Maybe just a level 6 behind at this point. But also doesn't know where 9 is. That's the key difference.
That's okay, neither do I.
It's here.
And I missed it again. Where is it? In the forest?
In the forest. West Forest specifically.
Gotcha.
So we're going to be listening for the roar of Ganon, because while Ganon is good at making his walls bomb-proof, they're not exactly soundproof. And we're going to be looking for a single shutter door that doesn't open when we kill all the enemies, or automatically opens based on if Ganon's been killed, because that will be Zelda. Last key for Cantaloupeme. Oh, this has got to be a transport where you... Well, Cantaloupeme can record it to 7 and buy that key real quick. And that might be what Cantaloupeme ends up doing here, if this is not a transport. Or the any key.
It
Push block.
It's transport.
Alright. Cantaloupeme can continue in level 9. It is rewarded with doors! We like doors. Another transport stair. So I automatically assume every stair in 9 is a transport.
Oh, I do too.
We got 6 sets of them, plus 2 item stairs. You do want to clear this room, though.
Well, at this point, Cantaloupeme has no choice unless he wants... Oh, I take that back.
Beautiful Kanana key. Whoa! Hold on. Hold the Kanana phone. Oh, there's a Ganon. He's in the nubbin. Ganon's in the nubbin. Always check your nubbins.
Ozzy picked his wrap up.
And Ozzy's window for making this comeback is closing quickly. Cantaloupeme should have no problems fighting Ganon here. It's like Cantaloupeme's got a stun lock. So there's a question of what is a Kanana key? So a Kanana key is when you walk through a key door without a key when a shutter door in the same room opens. So what happens is when a shutter door opens, it effectively causes all the doors in the room to be open for a couple of frames. And if you're walking through the door at that time, you can actually walk through the door normally. It's named the Kanana key because a runner named Kananaphone found it. And as Chad is pointing out, you must have 0 keys when you do it. If you have any keys at all, it will use a key still. So you might see times where runners elect to not open certain locked doors even if they have a key, because they know they can come back and Kanana key it, especially if it's relatively early in a dungeon. No stairs to get out of this segment of 9. Cantaloupeme going to like to just spend the money here. Does not get a push block. Does there exist a bomb wall? No! Cantaloupeme is going to up an A as OzzSolo is continuing to look for 9 and finds level 4! Does not know that this is not required. Cantaloupeme gets the bomb wall.
At this point, Ozzy has everything he needs, so...
Except the location of 9.
Well, I was talking item-wise, he's got everything he needs.
Oh, yes.
Unless he's hoping for a combat upgrade.
A combat upgrade or a book. And also, Ozzy has not gotten the Triforce at level 6, so this would be the 5th Triforce for Ozzy. As Chad has pointed out to us. See, this is why we like our chat and our tracker, Crump. Who's been dutifully pushing the buttons, making it look like we know what we're talking about, when the reality is, we're probably just lost.
Lost is a constant state of mind for me. Some people might say that I live in Ohio, but the state I actually live in is lost.
Instructions unclear. Recommended Indiana. So that doesn't have to be Zelda. That shutter door opened, but it did not have to be Zelda because there are no enemies in the room natively, and as you see, it is not. Cantaloupeme does get a key, though. Very important. So where is Zelda at? Because Cantaloupeme is down to 1 key, 1 bomb, 18 rupees. So that stair just goes back to the top of 9, and the Cantaloupeme is going to say, okay, cool, thanks.
And there's a white sword for OzzSolo.
Not a bad find, but probably not going to be enough. But Cantaloupeme is very low on bombs and low on keys. Cantaloupeme's got to be really careful here about how he chooses to continue to move out. Potential staircase here. Nope. There cannot be a staircase in a Gliarc room.
Free Triforce on the floor and 4 for OzzSolo. And he doesn't know it yet, but he is ready for 9.
Yep. Just has to find 9. And hopefully Oz does not elect to dig 8. Cantaloupeme down to 1 key. Going to use the key here. There's a shutter door. Oh, it didn't.
That is not open.
Let's see. There's a shutter door. Oh, there's a main handler. Let's see. There's an old man. It's the bait block! See, now the question is, when is Oz going to get back to the forest? Because here's the thing. Cantaloupeme being out of resources in 9 right now is the best thing that could happen for Oz, but Oz has to get back to the forest for level 9.
Oh, look at that. He's back in the forest.
OzzSolo coming in with 3 keys and 5 bombs. That could be the difference maker. Cantaloupeme is leaving level 9. Leaving level 9 to go get bombs. And Cantaloupeme is almost out of money. OzzSolo is about to find 9. This could turn around right here, as Oz has significantly better resources going into 9.
I'm honestly surprised Oz took the heart there. I'm surprised they didn't take the potion.
Oh, this is not good.
But
for
at this point, he doesn't know.
Cantaloupeme is out of money, out of keys, out of bombs. Oz is going into level 9. And does have the white sword, so combat's going to be a little bit faster in general. But remember, Cantaloupeme found Ganon so quickly because he had to jump into stairs because he didn't have any keys. OzzSolo does have keys, so it might take him a little longer to get to Ganon. Cantaloupeme is going back into level 1 to farm the bombs off of these Dark Nuts. Let's see if OzzSolo takes the stair.
He's going for it.
Going to. This gets you right near where Ganon is.
What is it? 2 to the right from here?
2 to the right from here is Ganon. And OzzSolo gonna walk into this room to the right. Probably doing just a little bit of tracking. Cantaloupeme has gotten bombs, heading back to level 9. OzzSolo now here is Ganon, gonna check the door to the north. Or not, gonna go to the right and finds Ganon! As Cantaloupeme is heading back to level 9. Cantaloupeme has forced a bomb drop. OzzSolo has to be careful. Even with Red Ring, these Ganon hugs will still deal a heart of damage. The fireballs do not play nice either. OzzSolo just needs a couple of more hits. There it is! Red Ganon! Ganon goes down for OzzSolo!
We now have both our runners in search of Zelda.
Cantaloupeme with a slight exploration advantage. This is gonna be close. And that's exploration in 9 is, you know.
There's the map for Ozzy. Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, they are in the same room. They were in the same room. Cantaloupeme is going to go to the stair to the north. OzzSolo did not check this as Oz only has 2 keys right now. Cantaloupeme has already opened this door up. Cantaloupeme is back on the northwest of 9 in this upper area. I'm going to start bombing around. There is a bomb wall. Gliok. OzzSolo is now in the northwest as well.
This is intense.
Yeah, these two are right on top of each other. Cantaloupeme just a few steps ahead. Okay, Cantaloupeme is now in the bottom center of 9. We have not been to this area yet. And there's the door! Cantaloupeme will finish with an official time of 55:53. And honestly, what a fantastic run by both runners.
Absolutely.
Cantaloupeme coming out the gate incredibly strong. Built up enough of a time differential to be able to hold on as OzzSolo really turned on the afterburners. Especially after finding 2 and 4, but just not quite enough to be able to close that gap up.
Hello.
Welcome on in, Cantaloupeme, GG's, and congrats on the win.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yes, welcome in and congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
So the tail of the scene was you'd found the bow, the silvers, and the ladder a good bit before OzzSolo did. However, the resources in 9 ended up also potentially being a big factor.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be the case going in with as little as what I did, but seeing how quick I found, I'm assuming my opponent did too, so it's like, you just have to gamble at that point. I was hoping to pick up a magic key along the way, but there was not one to be found, and I was like, well, we'll dig 7 since I knew where it was for a Triforce, and then I saw those Wizrobes. I was like, that's a Nope Force.
GG's, Cantaloupe.
Hey, thank you, thank you.
Welcome in, GG, Ozzy.
Thank you, thank you. Boy, that was close, wasn't it? That was a lot closer than I thought I was ever going to get to you. Holy cow.
Yeah, you turned the afterburners on as soon as you started getting a couple of the items. You're like, okay, we're going.
Yep. Yeah, I got that red ring, and boy, was I happy after that start.
Yeah, me too.
It's like engine room warp factor 9.
Yeah. Wasn't enough to catch old Cantaloupe, though.
Well, one of the things that I think helped you out was having that white sword for 9.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was fortunate to have. I figured, you know what, I'll go up and around and see if just maybe I'll run across an any key on the floor, and I didn't, but I saw the white sword. I'm like, yeah, that'll work.
Where was the white sword at?
It was floor. Yeah, floor item in 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. 4, I never found 4.
It was up at TQ9.
Yeah, upper left corner.
Oh, wow, all the way up there.
Yeah, sadly I spent some time up there, but I did find 4 and 2, so.
Yeah, as I was telling them, I had 5 dungeons uncovered once I had all the items to go, so I went to 7 to try to just clear that instead of looking for the dungeon, and then saw all that locked blue wizard room, and I was like, nah, I'm just going to look for 2 or 4.
Yeah, I saw 7 and just, nope, not happening.
But
Not happening.
You guys don't like when your dungeon just greets you with a 6 blue wizard room?
Right?
No, if I had a choice between that or a colonoscopy, I'd be scheduling an appointment.
Yeah, let me know your doctor's name. I'll go with you. Yeah, because I ain't doing 7 either. That was
Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna ignore that last bit of that statement.
Yeah. But yeah, that was an interesting seed. It actually wasn't too bad. I still had. Well, actually, I guess I did see a lot of it. Never mind. I thought that was a 4, not a yeah. But it wasn't. It was kind of bad to start. I had a few rough deaths right off the rip, but again, once I got into 1, found that red ring, man, that kind of put me at ease. I'm like, okay, I can at least play the game.
Yeah, because those Lionels on those screens were no joke. I mean, there was just so many of them everywhere. And
oh, I know.
And then when I saw the Armos item, immediately hit retry since I was right beside start. I was just like, I was regretting it at that point. I was like, man, I could use this to get by the, the Lionels, but no, I will not use a wooden boomerang.
Yeah, I don't blame. I did pick it up. I went to nope out on it, and I went, I better get that. I'm just going to get it because I don't have anything, and I see Lionels, so I'll get it just in case.
Yeah, it's an extra select press I don't like.
Yeah, it kind of screws your whole cycle up, that's for sure. I almost died on Ganon, too. I was down to like a half heart. I'm like, please no. Because I felt like, that's a real fast seed for me. I used to take a little longer than that, but I was feeling like everything was going so good. And then I was en route to looking for Zelda, and I got into this room, and one of the doors just popped open, and I went, "Oh my god!" Don't even count.
Same.
Yeah. I think there was a bunch of
traps.
Yeah, I walked in there. I'm like, "Oh, that's not it. I really thought that was it."
Yeah, I had to leave, and I went outside level 3, and I think I had to kill like 12 dark nuts to get a bomb.
Oh, jeez, I hate that. Gosh, do I hate that. But yeah, I was in 3, and I saw that rupee boss, and I'm looking, I'm like, that thing is that the silver arrow? And I like slowly picked the stuff up, checked my menu, and then flipped back up like, yeah, that was the silver arrow. We're just about in go mode, and I think the last go item I got was the bow. Out of, where was that? That was Forgotten Spot, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, White Sword spot. I only had, I think, one or two bombs left, and I was like, well, I'm going to bomb that spot since I know it opens, instead of bombing the spot to the right of it that only sometimes opens. So,
yeah,
I was so glad.
Yeah, you went with the guaranteed, and boy, did it pay off, didn't it?
Oh, it sure did. I mean, this seed had jet all over it. Did you ever find 8 by chance?
Yes, 8 was the. It was right above the north. Well, it was up in the Lost Hills, right beside the Lonely Rock, the big single rock.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
I didn't do 6, 7, or 8. It was funny because I had 5. I forget what Triforce I got last. It might have been 4 was the last one I got, and I'm like, I gotta find this 9. I can't find 9. I finally found it, and I walked in. I'm like, let's see how many it is, and everything just opened up. I went, get out of here. So that was super close, man. That's all. Well, I wasn't close enough. I mean, you still beat me by. Well, I just ended up DNF because I'm like, there's no sense in searching for her in here now. But just the fact that I was in 9 with you, wow, that makes me happy because you're one heck of a runner, man. And to be able to keep up with you at least somewhat was that was good for me, man.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean that was a good seed to have. I was a little concerned at being 5 Triforces. I was like, well, this is my kryptonite, these super jet seeds, and because I tend to go in with no resources in 9. So
yep, yeah, you rush in there.
You know what's funny, Ozzy?
You did it, man. Again, GG. That is fantastic. GG's to you, Cantaloupe.
Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to going back and watching this one.
Yeah, it was probably close. Go ahead. Sorry, Fox.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
Both of you were searching for Zelda at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which, Oz, I gotta say, the Ganon fight, being able to pull it out on half a heart was really good to watch.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a good fight.
That's cool. Well, that's cool. I'm glad we put you on. Put everybody a good show on. Then that's mainly my goal with these things is just to give everybody a good show, win or lose for me. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree.
So I'm glad to have done it alongside Cantaloupe, man. Hey, Cantaloupe, I've watched you for years, and you're just, again, you're a phenomenal runner. You're a heck of an entertaining guy to watch, no matter what you're playing. So when I pulled you, don't get me wrong, I was nervous because you're awesome and everything, but at the same time, I was super happy to get you, man.
Oh, well, it was fun to race you, man. I mean, I know we've never faced each other before, so it was good to give it a go there.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. That seed was fun, and again, just to know that I was running against Cantaloupe, man, I'm like, this is cool. So it turns out we put on a good show too. So awesome.
That's what
I'm
matters.
super happy with that. Exactly. I'm super happy to have done it, and again, that was an exciting race, man. I had a lot of fun with it.
Thank you. Yep, it was fun. GG's.
Thank you, and again, GG's to you, the winner, sir.
Yep.
I do want to say thank you to both runners, Cantaloupeme and OzzSolo, for putting on a fantastic race here, as well as our tracker in the background, Crump. Again, making it look like we know what we're talking about, because the reality is, y'all were going so fast, we might not have been able to keep up.
Sorry, I was driving on the Autobahn there for a moment, so yeah.
Yeah. Glad we presented the challenge.
That's the first time I've ever got to make an Autobahn reference on stream. Yay.
All right.
Hooray!
Woo!
But I don't have anything else. You got anything else, Oz?
No, I'm good. Just again, thank you. Thank you for the race, Cantaloupe. Thank you, Alsoa and Fox, for commenting on it for us, and for everybody putting the race up for us and on Restream, and yeah, just everybody have a good night. And our tracker. We won't forget our tracker. Who was tracking.
That would be Crump.
Crump.
Yeah, Crump.
And thank you, Crump.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
For those looking for more Z1R action, oh boy, do we have more Z1R action. Let me pull up the schedule real quick. So I know there's quite a lot going on. Let's see here.
Yeah, last
All
time
right, so
tonight was pretty full.
Yep. So we have going on. Both of these matches started about 10 minutes ago. Over on SpeedGaming 4 is Leslie Pro versus Milo Minder Binder. That is a 2 and 3 group match, so the winner of that will make it into the upper bracket. That one is being commentated by Lost Cards Fan 23 and Adirondack Rick. Also on Z1 Randomizer, also going on right now, we have Jess Andy versus Random Effect. That is being commentated by the Malchiors. Then it looks like at a minimum we have right here on SpeedGaming 3 at what looks to be 10:30, BBQ Daka versus Stun. That is also a 2 and 3 matchup. And then at 11 on SpeedGaming Prime we have Fred versus Fury. That is a 4 and 1 group match. But that is going to do it for us here. So once again, thank you to Crump for tracking. Thank you to our 2 runners for giving us a fantastic race. And thank you to Niori here for joining me in the booth. This has been Alsoa. Thank you everyone for watching. And there is more Z1R action going on at the moment. So we'll catch you all on either the next stream or the current streams.
Have a good night, everybody.